Welcome to The Process. It is Wednesday, May 5th. I am Josh Engleman, and I am here to break down all 9 games on today's NBA slate. We're going to go through each team. We're going to look at rotations. We're going to change some rates. We're going to do everything it is that I normally do on a day-to-day basis to start my NBA slate. So, good morning. It's nice to see everybody in chat. You guys are awesome, as per usual. Just a great crew of people to start off the day. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Helps us out a ton, and I just love seeing the likes climb. Yesterday was less than ideal, I guess you could say. I needed a little bit more out of Terry Rozier. Did not do what I was expecting. Lou Dort made me a little sad. And shout out to Chris Paul for being the best play on the slate. Did not see that one coming. It's going to happen from time to time, but it definitely happened yesterday. Absolutely happened yesterday. Needed more out of Bam, too. Thought he ended up totally fine for sure, but I expected a little bit more with no Jimmy Butler. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Yeah, the Suns are good, Nate. The Suns are good. Good morning, everybody. Cheers, everybody. Good morning. We're going to get into it. We got a lot to go through. 9 games is pretty big, all things considered. I mean, it's not 11 like we had at times earlier in the season, but 9's still pretty monstrous. None was also not ideal. We got a lot to get through. It's going to be a long day. We've got this contender strategy show, obviously, live before lock tonight from 6 to 7:30. We're going the extra half hour tonight. It's just going to be a big day. We got a lot going on. So I think it's about that time. I don't have anything else to rant about, and we have a ton to get through. So I've got my coffee here. Cheers, everybody. If you've got a coffee or a water or whatever it is you have in the morning, ciggies, joints, we love it all. Cheers to you guys. Let's have a good day. Ooh, let's break it down one more day. Coffee's a little hot. Felt like I had to eat it first so it wouldn't burn my mouth. Let's get it started. Same place we normally start. That would be the Atlanta Hawks taking on last night's heroes, or at least Chris Paul at the very least, taking on the Phoenix Suns. Hawks are at home, and by all accounts, everybody that can be healthy is healthy. DeAndre Hunter is still out, and Cam Reddish obviously done for the year, but everybody else is just available for Atlanta. So this should be pretty easy, because I think that's the same rotation as last time. We just need to hash out a couple of the little pieces. Weird to see Chris Dunn still not being a part of the rotation. That's not ideal. Curiosity Seeker, you would be correct. Been a long time, that's for sure. All right, so let's take a couple minutes away from Kevin Huerter. We're going to give them the Tony Snell. And I'm going to take 1 minute away from John Collins. Actually, we're going to take... That looks better. Go 24 to Gallo. I don't think they're going to stretch him out too far. Nah, Phoenix won't be over-owned tonight. So I still have 3 minutes left over. Where do those 3 minutes need to go? To Kevin Huerter, I guess. All right, that'll do it. Atlanta is pretty simple as far as I'm concerned. There's not much here. They're in a terrible matchup, taking on Phoenix. I would say Trae Young is at the top of the heap, and he might be the only guy on the heap. Maybe a little bit of Clint Capella on FanDuel. Maybe a little bit of Bogdanovich on DraftKings. But there's nothing here for Atlanta in this spot. $8,800 Trae Young on FanDuel I thought would be more interesting to me, but he's just going to end up being a guy in your player pool. You know, a 10 to 15%er. Nothing too crazy. We'll keep going on to Boston. No need to dwell on simple stuff here. So we've got Kemba Walker back, but we've got Jaylen Brown out. So let's scramble up these guys a little bit. Assuming Kemba comes back, but doesn't just play a crazy amount of minutes because they're taking on Orlando, and Orlando stinks. Time Lord's playing about 24 minutes, so let's give him 24 minutes. Tristan Thompson, about the same. They're playing... Is that OT? Yeah. They're basically playing all of the minutes at center. And I don't really know who else it would be unless they're actually giving... I mean, it's Tatum, technically. Because it's certainly not Peyton Pritchard, Romeo Langford, Nesmith, Tremont Waters, Brown, or Smart. So Jason Tatum it is. So 32 minutes for Kemba Walker. And then we're going to look at, let's say the backup run going to Romeo Langford. We'll get 34 minutes going to Marcus Smart. And we'll give the backup run, or what is essentially the backup run, to Aaron Nesmith. I do think Nesmith plays a little bit more, so I want to give him some more run at the 3. But that leaves me out of Peyton Pritchard sweepstakes, so I guess Marcus Smart is more the 3 now. So we're going to give Pritchard the 18 minutes that he normally plays. Let's try it a little bit more like that. Evan Fournier is going to be showing up at the 4 a bit. Let's give him 33 minutes. And then Tatum obviously going to get like 36. Leaves me 3 on a 9-man rotation. They have been playing a 9-man rotation over the past 3 games. Actually, they have been. So I'm just going to give 3 minutes of spillover to Grant Williams. I think that's safest. In theory, they can go to Peyton Pritchard, but I don't love it. But we do need to grab new rates with no Jaylen Brown and with Kemba Walker. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit different than when Kemba is just out. But let's take Jaylen Brown off the floor. And is there anybody else we need to take off the floor? I guess I'll take Teague off just to make it a little bit better. Jeffrey, good morning. That coffee tastes good today. That's very necessary. All right. No Jaylen Brown, no Jeff Teague on the floor. Jason Tatum with a 35.6% usage rate. Assist rate goes up as well. We're going to go to 34.5. But that will make Jason Tatum look quite a bit different. Kemba Walker with no Jaylen Brown on the floor. 30% usage rate. So I like giving him that bump as well. No real change to his assist rate. What do we see from Marcus Smart? 20.5% usage rate. So we'll give him a bit of a bump. Nothing else changes. Time Lord. This shouldn't matter at all. So I'm just going to continue. Whoa, actually, you know what? This is going to matter. Because we do need to think about Fournier in this situation. He played 133 minutes with no Jaylen Brown on the floor. In that time, he has a 15.6% usage rate. I can't give him that. There's no way. At the same time, Robert Williams, I think, does legitimately take a usage bump with no Jaylen Brown. So I'm going to go to 14.5. He's going to be a bit of a problem on FanDuel, I think. Not really looking forward to that. What do I do to Fournier's usage? I'm going to split the difference, I guess. So he's normally a 22.5 guy. He's been 15.6. So we're talking 3.5. Yeah, so I'm just going to take him to 19. So this is what we get for Boston against Orlando. Revenge narrative, I might add, for Evan Fournier. Yeah, Time Lord, 5,400 on FanDuel, 5,400 on DraftKings. He looks solid, but that's what every minute he gets becomes such a monster problem. Jason Tatum, though, 10-1 on FanDuel, 10-1 on DraftKings. Still looks pretty good, but not a lot to like out of these first two teams for Atlanta and Boston. Like, you like Jason Tatum at 10-1, but do you like him a lot when you face the Orlando Magic? I don't know. Cleveland Cavs, Darius Garland questionable. Everybody else that was in yesterday is questionable. So I'm going to move forward with the exact same lineup they had yesterday. Only thing that we could really do right now. And this game, it's at 7:30, so we should know the Darius Garland news by the time we get there. Didn't practice Monday, didn't play the front end of the back-to-back. I'm going to assume that he's not playing. Jose Styles, there's no chance you're playing Aaron Nesmith at all. Like 0%. It's a 9-game slate. You don't have to play the 7th best guy on any team. All right, so for Cleveland, this just sort of has to update a little bit for what we saw yesterday. And who didn't get time that I thought would? Broderick Thomas for sure. So I'm going to thin that herd out because obviously Cleveland went nuts. I mean, Isaac Okoro played basically the whole game, including overtime. You know, he went 42 minutes. Chetty went 40 minutes. I don't know what they were doing. So I need to give some additional minutes in some places. In particular, I need to give at least 2 more minutes to Chetty Osman. Damian Dotson played 25 minutes. I think that he needs quite a few more minutes to get him up to 20. Dean Wade played 31. And, you know, some of this is skewed by overtime. I guess I should look and see who actually played in OT. Not that it matters all that much. Not in this case. Also, how do you go to overtime and lose by 16 to the and how do you go to overtime with the Cavs? How do you get it's really hard to get blowout run in the first in overtime. That's nuts. It's truly nuts. So Cobb and Gate, I can't even wrap my head around this. There's no way that they're doing that again today. It's just not happening. What's up, Band Culture? All right, so for the most part, I think these minutes look good. Although, I do feel like I need to give 2 additional minutes to Dean Wade. I just don't know where to take them from. I guess Cobb and Gale. So let's do something like that. Rates will be the same. Cleveland at home against Portland, big underdogs. And we're not really looking at much here. No surprises either. It's Jared Allen on FanDuel, but barely. 9% chance of going for, what is it? 47? Yeah, so, you know, the likelihood of Jared Allen going for north of 40 is not all that high. You know, Chetty, Kevin Love, these guys are all priced where they should be. Jared Allen's the best option from Cleveland, but I'm not excited about any part of it. I feel bad. I just don't like anything coming out of these first 3 games. Like if we just add back in Atlanta, Boston, and Cleveland. Jeffrey, I agree with you right now. 103 viewers, 53 likes. We got out of the gate so strong yesterday. I think we could do that again today. Why not? Hit that thumbs up if you can. So, like, yeah, I have Robert Williams as the best play on FanDuel so far. That's not going to be the case. A bunch of, like, teens boom numbers. These first 3 games are not going, or the first 3 teams are not going to be a good example of what this slate looks like. Now, this should change a little bit. Denver and the Knicks, but at the same time, you get someone like Nikola Jokic, who normally looks fantastic, is going to be nerfed a little bit. No PJ Dozier as well, right adductor sprain, so we need to take his minutes out. That's going to change some stuff up a bit. So let's think this through. So for Denver, we have Campazzo, and I think he's just going to have to play 36 minutes. So let's do that. Let's give him 36. We give Austin Rivers 30, I guess. I mean, he played 33 after Dozier went down, so there's 32 minutes for Austin Rivers, something I did not expect. Jokic, I think, just stays in at his normal 35. Paul Millsap is going to be back in place of JaVale here. JaMychal Green looks fine at 18, although in theory I could probably give him slightly more. I get they would have to come at the no. I guess Aaron Gordon can play at the 3. So let's go 22, 4, and 24. So we still have 20 minutes left over, and that can get scattered in many different directions. We could go to extra minutes for JaVale and move Paul Millsap to the 4, but the Millsap JaMychal Green combo, I don't know if anybody, I'm quite confident no one's seen this, but I think it got mentioned on the Low Post. That would be Zach Lowe's podcast. But I want to look and see how true that is. I know it's a small sample. I don't know why I'm going to the Knicks. It's not the team that I was actually looking for. I believe the Paul Millsap JaMychal Green combination has been really messing people up. So it's possible they don't want to split that. So if we go to Millsap, nope, it should be on the court. JaMychal Green and Millsap on. I can't imagine they did this lineup with like Jokic at center at all. They did. Guess I should take Jokic off just not to cloud it. But they've played 355 possessions with JaMychal Green and Paul Millsap at the 4 and the 5. They're plus 12.4 points per 100 possessions. That's a 96th percentile outcome. Their defense is absolutely lethal, and they're doing that essentially with all of the guards that are going to be starting. Shaq Harrison, Austin Rivers. I mean, Dozier in this case is now out. Campazzo. There's not a ton of Jamal Murray involved in that, but the defense has just been truly, truly lethal. Are teams shooting? Yeah, their teams are shooting pretty bad too. So we will look into that a little bit. Where can these... I guess Shaq Harrison is going to be the guy that picks up the most minutes here. Like I think he's going to become like a value play. The difference between 26 minutes and 28 minutes for Shaq Harrison is a lot. And then finally... Yeah, I guess they could bump Aaron Gordon down to the 3 and not go to that Millsap. And I guess that lineup kind of works a little bit more against the Knicks too. So I'm going to give JaVale 10 minutes. I'm going to take... We're going to leave 3 here, move 10 there. And then I'm going to move... That's going to look like that. That's perfect. That's perfect. We're good there. So this is what we've got in for Denver. I don't really see the need to make any changes because it's not like PJ Dozier drives usage. So this is what we've got for the Nuggets against the Knicks. Unfortunately, it mutes them a bit because of the Knicks' pace, although they're not the slowest team in the league any longer. Jokic is now finally someone that actually looks good, as does Michael Porter on FanDuel at 7,700. Not so much for Porter at 8,400 on DK, although still more than viable. But this pace down spot does sting a bit. All right, that's it for Denver against the Knicks. On to Houston. Ugh. Houston taking on Philly. This one's going to be bad. It would be in our best interest that no one from Houston grades out well, but I don't think that's going to be the case. They probably have like 4 guys back or something stupid. All right, Daniel House is doubtful. Good to know. I could have swore I saw that Christian Wood was just able to play today. Is that crazy? I just don't remember. But I could have swore that I saw a report that he's just in. Let me see if I can find anything on Twitter. I thought I saw that report yesterday when I was getting prepped. Let's see. Christian Wood. Christian Wood Wednesday. Not listed on Wednesday's injury report. All right, that's what I thought. So we are going to just assume that Christian Wood is straight up in. So that makes things at least a little bit easier. Other people that we need to worry about. No Eric Gordon, no Sterling Brown, no DJ Wilson. DJ Augustine questionable. I have to assume that he's going to play if he can play. Yeah, I guess I have to project him in. So I'm going to scratch everything here except for Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. And then we're going to give DJ Augustine just the backup point guard run. We're going to give Kelly Olynyk, obviously, the backup center run. Plus, I don't know, 24 more minutes. God, Kelly Olynyk, what a world. And then we need to start handing out some more playing time here. That would be Kenyon Martin next. Yeah. So we'll give him those 24 minutes. We'll have Avery Bradley playing 22. We'll have Armani Brooks playing 18. Jeffries can get 16 probably. Nope, not even close. We got to give Jayshawn Tate 30. Yeah, okay, so 16 and then 10 left over for Anthony Lamb. Perfect. That's pretty easy. All right, rates for Houston should be the same because we're not really dealing with anybody else. Yeah, there's no changes. So for Houston against Philly, obviously very difficult matchup, but Kevin Porter still just 6,900 on FanDuel. He's 7,700 on DraftKings, way less appealing, but still very much in play. Olynyk, Porter, Wood. They're the only 3 guys that you could roster from Houston today. I wouldn't be looking to get a lot of them, and Christian Wood is priced up pretty heavily on FanDuel, but even still, I don't have a huge issue going there just because of his offensive ceiling, although probably would feel good to take 1 minute away from him. But at the same time, I don't think that I can. So Porter, Olynyk, and Wood. That's where we're looking so far. Let's add in Denver. Let's add in Houston. Morning, Chris. All right, guys, I got to ask. 133 viewers, 74 likes. We're slipping on the ratio. If you are here and you have not hit that thumbs up yet, I would appreciate it considerably. Nate, we're in a point of the season where I don't look past this season, but it depends on the team. Like, I think you could pretty easily expand that when it's, like Dame CJ type situations where, they've been there for a while. It's the same sort of crew. There we go. That number's climbing. I like it. All right. So Kevin Porter Jr. is actually the top play for me on FanDuel so far. Nikola Jokic would be a relatively close second, but not too close. And then on DK, Nikola Jokic and Kelly Olynyk are at the top of the heap. Everybody else is sort of pretty significantly below. Indiana. Reports coming out yesterday that there's some turmoil with Nate Bjorkgren, so who the hell knows what this team's going to look like. And lucky for us, Malcolm Brogdon, Edmund Sumner, Jeremy Lamb, Goga Bitadze, all questionable. Goga has not played in weeks with a questionable tag. So I am not going to project Goga Bitadze to play today. But I think that we need to assume that Malcolm Brogdon does. So 36 minutes at center for Domantas Sabonis. And then O'Shea Brissett played 26 minutes last time out, which was pretty surprising to me. But that's going to happen when Domantas Sabonis plays 43. And I don't think that he plays 43 every time. So I'm going to give 12 minutes there at backup 5 to O'Shea Brissett, along with another 20. That takes him to 32. We're going to give Malcolm Brogdon his, I don't even want to say normal run because he's been out for so long. So I'm going to give him 32 minutes. 24 minutes to TJ McConnell. 24 minutes to Edmund Sumner. 34 minutes to Karis LeVert. 18 minutes to Justin Holiday, and a crisp 24 minutes to Dougie McBuckets. Indiana against Sacramento. It's a great spot. And it feels like I have Domantas Sabonis wildly underprojected, but let us see. I mean, he's been at 1.49 fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days. There's no way that I could project him for that rate, but 1.35 seems pretty realistic. At which point, 10-3 and 10-6, he looks good. O'Shea Brissett looks okay. Karis LeVert looks okay. Malcolm Brogdon, too expensive. But I don't mind Sabonis. It's a lot of salary. It's a lot of salary. Like, Sabonis is $400 cheaper than Nikola Jokic today on FanDuel. There's no way that you can prioritize Sabonis before Jokic. You just can't. Even in this fantastic matchup against Sacramento. Memphis Grizzlies. We're keeping this moving pretty well, although we're already in here by a half hour. What do we got going on, Grizz? You just being weird and having everybody normal? Making it hard? All right. Jaren Jackson. He's the only guy not playing. So I think we just simply move Brandon Clark's minutes to the 4. We bring Tillman back in at the backup 5. How many minutes did Slow-Mo play last game? 31 plus 28. So I'm just going to make his minutes go there. That leaves me 4 extra minutes for this Melton Bane combo that I assume is my biggest issue. And it seems like it is. Justice Winslow did not play the last game. That's interesting. So Bane, I'm almost positive, played like a shit ton. Yeah, 26 and 31 over the past 2 games. So I'm just going to give him straight up those minutes. Cantor, I agree. I am too good for that nonsense. But if they come asking, I've never said that in my life. All right, what do we have going on for Memphis? Look like just the Ja show. Yeah, Ja for 7K. That's a direction that I'm interested in going. He's probably not going to pick up much ownership because he doesn't normally. Joval, Slow-Mo, Brooks, Allen, they're like 5%ers. Ja for 8,300 on DraftKings is not so much a good play. There's not really anything going on for Memphis on DK. If you want to play them, except for Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson is $800 cheaper. Nope, $600 cheaper. But Morant on FanDuel, that's a legitimate play. He's too cheap. He's too cheap right now, especially against Minnesota. Pace up spot, bad defense, all that good stuff. All right, Milwaukee on the back-to-back, taking on the Washington Wizards. It's the best spot in the league, folks. The best spot in the league. Big time pace up spot. By the way, Giannis in my baseline projections, 1.63 FanDuel points per minute. That's just in general. Jeffrey, no, I don't want to roster the backup center for the Grizzlies. 9-game slate. We're not playing Showdown. All right, what did we get out of Milwaukee last night? I assume everybody that played yesterday plays again today. Portis played 16 minutes. I got him in for a little bit more. So they go to Giannis at the 5? Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, PJ Tucker is 60 minutes. Plus Giannis is 98. So that is basically every minute at the 4 and the 5. So they're just playing more minutes to Bryn Forbes or DiVincenzo. Okay. So we're going to take those 2 minutes away. We're going to go 26 and 9. Get 2 more minutes going in here to Forbes. I think I'm okay with everything else here. Let's go 28, 18, 220, 7, 28. Because I'm not going to get to Forbes, but I at least want it to look a little bit better. So what do we got here for Milwaukee? I mean, there's not much to look into. We know what we're going to do here. Giannis looks fantastic. 11-4 on FanDuel, 10-9 on DraftKings. He's been at 1.73 FanDuel points per minute over the last 30 days. I've got him at 1.67. Clearly a top play on both sites, but 10-9 on DraftKings looks even better. And then I think Drew Holiday for 7,800 on FanDuel at least looks pretty solid. If we add in Indy, Memphis, Milwaukee, we've got 3 more teams that we could take a look at. Indy, Memphis, Milwaukee. And we can go a little bit bigger than that. So yeah, Giannis is pretty clearly at the top now. He's 4 full points clear of Jokic on DK. Giannis unquestionably my top DraftKings play right now, just in his own tier. Jokic, Olynyk, Campazzo, Porter, Wood, Holiday, Tatum are all pretty much the same for right now. On FanDuel, though, Giannis is at the top, about a point ahead of Kevin Porter, up 2 points ahead of Morant and Jokic and Drew Holiday. So that's sort of like a trio right here. We're moving through this pretty well. Minnesota, I'm hoping is just their same sort of normal rotations. It appears to be, which is good. Taking on Memphis, which isn't really like the most fun matchup in the world. Towns minutes look good. Edwards minutes look good. Actually, Edwards minutes might be low. No, Edwards minutes are fine. McDaniels minutes look fine. D'Angelo Russell can use some more time, I think. I don't know where that's going to come from, though. Josh Okogie, I guess. So let's do something like this. Yeah, I like that. Ricky Rubio has played 30 minutes a game for the past 2 games. I don't know why he would do that, but I think that is incredibly important information. The question is, where do those minutes come from? I guess we take a little bit more from Okogie. That gets him to 25. Juancho Hernan-Gomez has played 21. That looks fine. Jared Vanderbilt played 17. That's fine. So who gets the haircut? How do I get him higher than that? I guess it's even more Okogie. So if I take him up to 27 minutes, does it even make him viable? Not really. We're worried about one dude and one dude only here. Well, not one dude and one dude only, but mostly one day. One dude. I can't talk today. I need more coffee. Glug, glug, glug. Alrighty. For Minnesota. So Towns looks pretty good. 10K on FanDuel, 10-3 on DraftKings. He's certainly in the mix. Projects really well. I like the spot. D'Angelo Russell would be my number 2 here. 7,100 on FanDuel, 7K on DraftKings. Looks way better on DK. I think Edwards still looks pretty good on DK. 8K on FanDuel, a little bit less so. Yeah, where does Minnesota land on Tankathon right now? Minnesota currently, man, that is so tight. So top 3 protected this year, unprotected next year. They are currently projected 3rd, but Oklahoma City obviously hot on their heels. Cleveland hot on their heels, only a game behind. Orlando only a game behind, hot on their heels. So we could be looking at, Golden State picking up a pick in that 4, 5, 6 range, which is pretty big. Right now, if the season ended today, Minnesota would have a 40% chance of keeping their pick in the top 3, 60% chance of it going to the Warriors, with a 26% chance of the Warriors picking 6th. And if they pick 6th, we'd be looking at someone like Jalen Johnson, maybe Kuminga, Scotty Barnes, Keon Johnson. And in this run, Cade Cunningham to the Cavs. Can you imagine if the Cavs won the lottery again? But Houston's pick is top 4 protected right now. They give that pick to Oklahoma City if it falls to 5, which is wild to think about. Oklahoma City, in theory, could win the lottery. Houston falls to 5. OKC could go 1 and 5, which would go really nicely for them. Basically a 50-50 shot at Houston falling to the 5 spot. OKC can just be anywhere. Pistons pick is protected, but it doesn't matter all that much. These teams are going to put the tank on right now in a big, big way. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to the New York Knicks, who I can't imagine we're rostering a lot of, but who knows? That's what we're here for. Chris, I don't own any. I don't own any Doge. Q tag on Noel, Q tag on Norvel Pell. So I'm just gonna put Noel back in. I don't really have much of a choice here. Man, Jokic is gonna smash Taj Gibson if he can. So 27 minutes to Nerlens Noel, 21 to Taj Gibson. That should create no changes whatsoever to these projections. 39 minutes for Randall seems reasonable unless it's been 40 every day. No. RJ Barrett at 38 minutes seems fine to me. Cool. Bullock, good. Rose, good. I don't have anything else that I want to change here. So for the Knicks, the Knickerbockers, Randall and Barrett. Only 2 options today, and even still, you're not rostering them with any sort of regularity. They don't look good. On to Orlando, a team that I legitimately hate right now. These guys are jerks. in the biggest way possible after whatever nonsense they just pulled. No Ennis, no Okiki, no Ross, no MCW, no Porter. But we don't know who the hell's going to play for this team. We've seen them start guys like Gary Harris, and then they play 10 minutes. I don't know what to do with this rotation. This is terrifying. So I'm going to take those minutes away and give RJ Hampton 30. I'm going to give Wendell Carter Jr. 25 and Mo Bamba 23. I think Mo Wagner is going to play more, and I think Ignas Brazdeikis is also going to play more. So we're going to take... Brazdeikis has to play at the 4. So I'm going to give Mo Wagner 2 more minutes. We're going to go 16 there. I'm going to say that Brazdeikis plays 24 minutes, I guess. We're going to take Cole Anthony down a peg. And then I'm going to give 23 minutes to Gary Harris. I don't like this at all. And Cole Anthony, because like his price dropped, is popping up aggressively. So I need to run these rates again to see if anything's changed for Cole Anthony's outlook. This is about to be a problem. Oh no, this is just not going to be fun. So Gordon off, Vooch off, Ross off, Fournier off, Fultz off, I guess, but probably doesn't matter in this scenario. Let's let everybody slowly trickle out. What do we got? What do we got? I guess I need to take MCW off because he does see that sort of boost and clearly isn't playing. Does Cole Anthony still have a 26% usage rate in this scenario? 345 minutes with none of those guys on. 26% usage rate, 8.8% assist rate. So we're going to go to 8.5. Actually, I'm just going to leave him at his normal rate. But the usage rate, I think, does have to go up a little bit. The question is, does anybody else's? Dwayne Bacon's is already up. Gary Harris is already up. Brazdeikis has only played 1 game. Mo Bamba, 22% usage rate. That's what I have him at. Mo Wagner in 111 minutes, 16.7% usage rate. All right, I'll nerf it. RJ Hampton, 19.5. Wendell Carter Jr., 19. That's fine. I don't know why I gave him any bigger of an assist rate. That's craziness. All right, I killed it at least. All right, so I don't really have the confidence in what I'm about to say. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't like the way that this looks. But at the same time, I think it has to happen. Oh. Cole Anthony, I like. Mo Wagner, I like a little bit. Cole Anthony for 5,800 on FanDuel. Let me be more specific. 7K on DraftKings will make it a little bit easier here. Mo Wagner for 4,900 on both sites is just in play, unfortunately. RJ Hampton is 4,500 on DraftKings. He is in play, unfortunately. So let's add in everybody that we've looked at. Minnesota, the Knicks, and Orlando. Minnesota, Knicks, Orlando. So yeah, still Giannis and Kevin Porter at the top on FanDuel. Morant is in that 3 spot with Karl Anthony Towns and, unfortunately, Cole Anthony at 5,800. Mo Wagner also up there quite a bit, although I think the upside is a little bit lower than it seems. And then on the DK side, Giannis, still the unquestioned top guy. Jokic, Olynyk. Then we get to Towns. So Towns, even still, is my 3rd favorite pay-up option. He's ahead of Randall and ahead of Tatum and Sabonis, but kind of firmly in that 3 spot. RJ Hampton is probably like a top, 15 play on DK by the time we finish this up. That won't be fun for anyone. Sixers. Come on, normal rotation that I don't have to change. Come on, normal rotation I don't have to change. Furkan Korkmaz out. All right. That's pretty easy. We can take Furkan Korkmaz out with no real issues. 32 minutes for Ben Simmons, 33 minutes for Joel Embiid, 28 minutes for Seth Curry, 2 more minutes for Shake Milton. 18 minutes for George Hill seems fine. Danny Green seems fine. Thibault seems fine. So I'm just going to give these minutes, 15 minutes straight to Tyrese Maxey. Easy. Easy game. Which means we have some interesting stuff to look at for Philly because obviously they are not, Houston is not equipped to handle this. Joel Embiid is 9,600 on FanDuel, 10-2 on DK. He might be my new top play. Simmons and Harris both look solid. I would prefer Simmons on FanDuel where he's 7,200. I prefer Harris on DraftKings where he's 6,800. I'm adding Philly in right now just because I want to see, because I think Embiid is at the top of the heap now on FanDuel at the very least. Yeah, so Embiid is now quite a bit ahead of Giannis, 2.5 points basically. To me, Embiid is quite clearly the top play on FanDuel, although because he's a center, he won't break through the same way. And with, Towns and Jokic, we have some other center options that you can pay up for. But that $9,600 price tag on FanDuel is just not correct. I have him second on DraftKings in between Giannis and Jokic, and I mean that literally. So Embiid now my second favorite pay up option on FanDuel. Keeping it moving through Philly. 1, 2, 3. We got 6 to go. 178 viewers. We're over 100 likes. You guys are fantastic. Can't ask for anything else. On to the Phoenix Suns taking on Atlanta. Shout out to Chris Paul after yesterday. Big one. Not changing any bit of this rotation other than just the obvious spots. So that looks good and that looks good. I'm Devin Booker for 35 minutes looks fine to me. 26 minutes for Torrey Craig could probably go down. 36 minutes for Bridges I'm fine with. I don't have any changes that I want to make to this rotation. This looks good to me. How the hell did they play? Even still. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Phoenix rotation, same as usual, which means that I have the same sort of thoughts as usual. DeAndre Ayton would be my primary option from Phoenix, and he would be like a tertiary option on the entire slate. Booker and Bridges look okay. I'm not going to Chris Paul at 8K and 7,500. I don't care what he did yesterday. Congratulations to Chris Paul for yesterday's performance. I will not be trailing that performance today. I don't have much interest in the Phoenix Suns. Portland, another team that I hope is just fine. Dame probable. Norm Powell questionable. Questionable with what? Okay, well, we're probably not going to have this information anytime soon. Ayton's fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days, 1.12. Which is, I have him in my model baseline at 1.13. So he's basically just been himself. All right. I guess we have to just leave Norm Powell in for right now. Which means that the rest of this just looks normal. So Portland taking on Cleveland. CJ is at the top of the heap on FanDuel, but CJ, Nurk, and Dame are all basically the same play to me. Norm Powell quite a bit behind. On DraftKings, it goes Dame, CJ, Nurk. But again, these guys are good, not great options. Probably like 20th to 25th best options on the slate, either site. So nothing we have to like really write home about. It's all pretty tame. So we don't have to worry too much about Portland against Cleveland, which makes me happy. That's what happens when Dame's price becomes 9,200 after he was like 7,800 or whatever stupid price he had. All right, Sacramento. There's no way that this is going to be a fun thing to project. They got to have a bunch of questionable tags, huh? Fox still out. Barnes questionable. Metu questionable. Not ideal. Obviously, Halliburton out. So, oh man. I really don't want to project the Sacramento team, but I think we just have to go with what we had yesterday. So I've got 30 minutes for Rashawn Holmes, 30 minutes for Bagley, Terrence Davis played more than I thought he would. DeLon Wright played more than I thought he would at the expense of who? I guess Justin James. And Kyle Guy. So let's go 2 more minutes there. 2 more minutes there. Mo Harkless only played 24 minutes, so that's telling. We're going to take 2 more minutes from Harkless. Go to 28 on Terrence Davis. Don't think I have anybody else that I want to change here. But even still, Harkless at 30 feels too high. Justin James is right. Kyle Guy is right. I don't think Jameis Ramsey is long for this role. So, Sacramento Indy, guys. This is going to be a major, major issue. Look at all that bright blue here, including DeLon Wright at 34 minutes. I mean, we're going to... Look, we got to remember, Indiana is the second fastest team in the league right now. Look at this. 103.1 possessions per game, just behind Washington. This Sacramento is going to pop like crazy here. We're doing it again with Sacramento. Yeah. DeLon Wright, 5,200 on FanDuel, 5,600 on DraftKings. He's going to be the number 1 play on the slate. He went for 60, I believe, yesterday. Is that correct? Yeah, 60 FanDuel points, 53.5 on DK. On FanDuel, DeLon Wright was the 3rd best play on a fantasy point per minute basis. Gabriel Deck is ahead of him at 16. So DeLon Wright was the 2nd best play yesterday. Obviously, we shouted him out starting the day pretty easily. But he's just as good of a play today, if not better. So lock and load, unload on DeLon Wright. Marvin Bagley for 5,400 on DraftKings is just as good of a play as Wright. Buddy Hield looks exceptional. Marvin Bagley looks exceptional. Holmes, Terrence Davis. It's all Sacramento. Full on unload on the Kings. They are the best team today by miles. Look at this. DeLon Wright is 5 points clear of Joel Embiid relative to salary. It's not even close. DeLon Wright is so very obviously the number 1 contender on FanDuel today. It's going to be bonkers. But then we still get Holmes here at 6,600. Terrence Davis at 3,800. Bagley, Hield. Look at all of these Kings guys in like the top 10. And it's the same situation on DraftKings. DeLon Wright at the top of the heap at 5,600. Bagley at 5,400 looks great. There's Buddy Hield near the top. There's Rashawn Holmes near the top. Terrence Davis still pretty highly ranked. There's no way around it today, guys. You just, they're the best plays on the slate by a truly large amount. Wow. Go Kings. Go Kings. All right, 185 viewers. North of 100 likes. If you can hit it, if you haven't, please hit that like button. We got 3 teams to go, and then we are going to get into running some optimals, which should be all sorts of fun. We'll play the game of how many Kings. So that's going to be a game we can play. All right, San Antonio Spurs. No Derek White. Obviously no Trey Lyles. Everybody else that could be playing should be playing. So let's take a peek-see here. We're going to go 28 and 14. Lonnie Walker, Patty Mills. Ooh, this is gross. I don't know who to give these minutes to. I guess Gorgie Zhang. Is he just playing like the 4 now? I can't wrap my head around it. I guess he is. I mean, taking on Utah on the road, none of these guys are looking all that much like a priority anyway. So San Antonio. DeMar is the best option. DeJounte Murray is okay. Both of those guys look way better on DraftKings than they do on FanDuel, and they don't look all that great to begin with. We're already done with the Spurs. On to Utah, which I assume looks exactly the same, or do we get somebody back? Nope, no Conley, no Mitchell. So same rotation as normal. Hopefully everybody's playing Jordan Clarkson again and failing at that. Good. We'll give Mia One the minutes here. I'm more than okay with every single rotation I have on here right now. Don't have to change the rates. So for Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert at the top of the heap for me at 8,400. 8,700 on DraftKings looks okay. Ingles would be my number 2 option here. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't understand the Neesmith calls at all today. That's twice. That will end up being wildly wrong. Yeah, so Gobert, Ingles, Bogdanovich. If people keep playing Jordan Clarkson aggressively, go ahead and fade him. He's a terrible play. Particularly on DraftKings at 7,300. Just ignore him. He's going to pop off like 1 out of every 20 times at that rate. I'll take my chances that it's not today. Washington Wizards, let's close it out now. Wizards on the road, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Do we have any changes we need to make? No, we don't. So we need to just try to figure out what they're going to do. Gafford played 15, Len 17, Lopez 15. These guys just play the same damn minutes every time. I've got Rui in for 32. That works. 26 for Bertans. That works. 37 for Beal. Cool. 38 for Russ. Cool. Neto 26. Might be a little high. But I guess it's not. He played 20 minutes the last time out, but that's fine. Either way. Wizards. Gee, surprise here. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are the only 2 potential options here for Washington. Westbrook for 11.2 on FanDuel looks solid. Beal for 91 looks okay. Russ for 11K on DraftKings looks great. 9,500 for Beal looks way less great. So that's everybody. Let's add them all in. Who are we expecting to see at the top of the heap? Yeah, there we go. DeLon Wright, Marvin Bagley. They are going to be very popular today. Very, very popular. Gonna be a fun slate. Let's run some crunches, everybody. Hit that like button. Let's do this. Let's do this. By the way, if you are trying to play Aaron Neesmith today, he is 3,200 on DraftKings and 5K on FanDuel. I don't care what any person thinks on this planet. He is unplayable on FanDuel. 3,200 on DraftKings I can get behind if he falls behind, or if he falls into some of those minutes, but he is not a play on FanDuel. That is not up for debate. $3,200 though on DraftKings. You have to hope. See, it's just such a fool's errand play. He's like a 0.8 guy, all things considered, probably. So you need every one of those minutes. That'll be the big piece. He's got to be out there. DraftKings 3,200. I don't see any reason you would want to play him on a 9-game slate, but at the very least, he is playable on DraftKings. So that helps. Alrighty. Game time. Let's get an optimal. FanDuel starts it out. Bang. So, optimal lineup on FanDuel. Here we go. Wow, by a lot, too. 1.5. Ja Morant, DeLon Wright, Terrence Davis, Grayson Allen, Kevin Porter Jr., Joe Ingles, Giannis, Bagley, and Joel Embiid. I don't love that Terrence Davis piece. I want to look at his projection quickly. 0.91. I might need to tweak Terrence Davis before we keep moving. I don't think that is natural. Oh, maybe it is. I'm going to take 1 minute away from him and take him to 27. Because he's not someone I think that should just naturally pop up. But I want to see if that extra minute matters. If he's still there after that extra minute, then I'm cool with it. All right, let's grab these projections once again. Let's see how that changes. Let me look at the Grayson Allen one as well. Grayson Allen he's $100 above the minimum. He's 3,600 on FanDuel. Did he play 26 minutes? Yeah, he played 26 minutes at 3,600. That one makes a little bit more sense to me. Not that I like it or anything, but all right, optimal lineup. Let's try this again. Yeah, so it stays. No changes for moving Terrence Davis down a peg. Morant, Wright, Davis, Grayson Allen, Porter, Ingles, Antetokounmpo, Bagley, Embiid. Yeah, like it's not ideal, but we're talking about $3,600. That's the low. I mean, like, look at this price. Look at this price. He was 5,400 here when he was playing 30 minutes. But even in the mid to high, like 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, still got to 18 fantasy points. There's something there at that price. What else we got? Oh, power rankings. Let's do power rankings. Let's get it started and boom. Bada bing, bada boom. What else we got popping up? Yeah, there's so much Sacramento, guys. It's kind of nuts, if we're being honest here. Just, it's a lot. Power rankings on FanDuel. DeLon Wright is 25 miles away from everyone else. Terrence Davis, Marvin Bagley, Mo Wagner, Joe Ingles, Cole Anthony, Kevin Porter Jr., Buddy Hield, Giannis, Joel Embiid, Drew Holiday, Boyan, Ja Morant, Grayson Allen. So Allen shows up in that optimal, but and like it's still an okay play, but he's not the volume play here as well. DeLon Wright, though, is just on a completely different planet. Just not even remotely close, which is kind of nuts. Just play all the DeLon Wright. Like it. I like it. I like this piece. I hate the Terrence Davis piece. I just think that might be a testament to the guard spot. Let's actually look at that for a second before we move forward. What do we have going on at point guard on FanDuel? So, like, obviously, DeLon Wright slips, like, gets to the top. Russ. Yeah, like, it's not. Wait. Is Terrence Davis a shooting guard? Yeah, Terrence Davis is a shooting guard. What am I doing? So, we're either, we're paying, like, basically, like, proper freight for CJ, D'Angelo, Russell, Beal. There's nothing here. There's nothing there. So in a way, I get it. The opportunity cost at shooting guard, you're not really missing out on anything. Like I barely have one guy at shooting guard outside of Terrence Davis getting to the target score. And like if you just look at let's just look at point guard for example. Terrence Davis is at the top, plus 3.5. You get DeLon right there, but I mean, like all of these guys are just as good as Terrence Davis at another position. Shooting guard's just so shallow that paying down makes some sense, but I think that's going to over project him a little bit. I don't love it. All right, let's move on to DraftKings. Check out that optimal. DK. I don't think we'll see Terrence Davis here, but who the hell knows? I'm predicting 4 Kings in the optimal. What do we see, though? Two Kings in the optimal. Interesting. DeLon Wright and Bagley only. Oh, that gets real weird. All right. DeLon Wright, Facundo Campazzo, Tobias Harris, Dean Wade, Joel Embiid, Shaq Harrison at the flat minimum, Bagley, and Giannis. I didn't realize Harrison was the flat minimum, so he's clearly going to pop up here. Really surprised to see Facundo Campazzo. Good God, my dog's crazy. You guys probably heard of that. Campazzo at 4,600, but I guess with no PJ Dozier, it makes some sense. I wouldn't have expected Dean Wade, but I guess I understand why. Both of those lineups are the same. You can just turn Embiid into Towns. They have the exact same projection, so interesting stuff. All right, let's run the power rankings. News God, I'll hit that question in a second once this starts running for the power rankings. Top cash center on FanDuel. I assume it's Embiid. Yeah, Embiid would be my first thought. I could see it being Holmes. And then I will likely just be higher on Gobert than others, but I could see it being Holmes if paying up elsewhere is easier, but it seems like we have enough value at the regular spots that $9,600 Embiid would be my guy. All right, DraftKings optimals or DraftKings power rankings. Good Lord. All right, so Marvin Bagley and DeLon Wright, you guys can see on the screen, just on a different planet. They're both in these lineups like 40% of the time. Next closest guy barely gets to 20, doesn't even get to 20. So Bagley and DeLon Wright are 1-2 on DK by a mile. Facundo Campazzo, Dean Wade, Mo Wagner are the next 3 names, and I just feel like I should give up. What are we doing here? If Dean Wade, Facundo Campazzo, and Mo Wagner are plays, Giannis, Tobias Harris, Shaq Harrison, Terrence Davis, Russell, D'Angelo Russell, that is, Rashawn Holmes, RJ Hampton, Nikola Jokic, Kelly Olynyk. Just, that is disgusting. That is truly disgusting. To the people that are playing on DraftKings today, buckle up. That is gross. There's no chance you look at your lineup on DK today and think, that's the one that I want. Like, what's my highest projected lineup that just came out of that crunch? 500 lineups. It's got to look awful. Like, no, I don't want RJ Barrett and Rubio and Campazzo and Patty Mills. And oh my God, this is disgusting. That's truly, truly gross. Oof. Well, guys, that'll do it. 9 games up, 9 games down. This is not a visually appealing slate, at least on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I think it makes a little bit more sense. But Bagley, Wright, Campazzo, Wade, Mo Wagner at the top of the list. There's going to be a lot of heartbreak. A lot of heartbreak tonight. Not going to be fun. So here's the deal. Contenders videos are about to get recorded right now. They'll be out this morning. Strategy show with Laffy at 10 a.m. Then I am just going to hang out for a bit until Live Before Lock from 6 till 7:30 tonight. By the way, shout out to Monkey Knife Fight. They are the presenting sponsor of this show. Use the promo code Awesemo. Get yourself a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. You deposit $100, they give you $100. That's free money. If I told you you could enter a contest that you were guaranteed to win, everybody would do it. Don't think that this is anything different. Make the deposit, get the bonus money, grind up a bankroll. It's the perfect way that you can do it. So let's look into that, everybody. I think that you guys should do that. I recommend it. And then I don't think I have anything else here. Keep your eyes peeled for everything we've got coming out today. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. It's going to be a wild one. News is going to be big time today, and I think it's going to change this slate up a lot. But for right now, go Kings. Adios, everybody. Good luck tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow.